Chapter 9: Inquiry and Understanding. Beyond the realms of artistic expression and tangible innovation, free creative flow offers a distinct path for inquiry and the pursuit of understanding. In a world saturated with information and driven by AI's capacity to provide answers based on vast datasets, the nature of our questions and the process by which we seek understanding become paramount. FCF suggests an inquiry rooted not in accumulating knowledge, but in deepening presence and allowing clarity to emerge. This form of inquiry, intimately linked to what the source recordings call inner space, begins, like all things FCF, from starting with not knowing. It is fundamentally different from conventional research or problem-solving, which typically starts with a hypothesis or a well-defined question aimed at finding a specific answer within the existing body of knowledge. FCF inquiry is often unguided, uncontrolled, and unsupervised. It doesn't necessarily have a predetermined goal or seek a particular outcome. It arises from a state of openness, a willingness to explore without a map, driven perhaps by a subtle curiosity or a sense of resonance rather than a structured objective. It can feel like anonymous observation, a witnessing presence rather than an active, controlling intellect directing the search. As emphasized before, finding out for oneself is key. No pre-knowledge or external guide can substitute for starting from that initial emptiness. In this approach, the dissolution of questions into clarity becomes the hallmark of progress, rather than the acquisition of answers. As we saw when contrasting human creative intelligence with AI, questions born from not knowing are not necessarily demands for data. When held patiently within the open space of FCF, without an anxious rush for resolution, the question itself can transform. Its sharp edges soften, its underlying assumptions may become visible, and sometimes it simply dissolves, leaving behind not a neat answer, but a deeper state of clarity, openness, or direct understanding. This felt shift is the understanding sought, a qualitative transformation rather than a quantitative addition to one's knowledge base. Furthermore, FCF inquiry often reveals the seamless boundary between the self and the universal. As one explores their inner space from this place of open allowing, the rigid distinctions we typically make between me and not me, or inner and outer, can begin to blur. The flow of inquiry doesn't necessarily respect the boundaries of the conditioned, knowledge-based self, preferences, identity, personal history. It can naturally extend into explorations of the universal nature of consciousness, the interconnectedness of things, or fundamental questions about existence. The transition feels less like moving from one topic to another, and more like recognizing a deeper continuity that was always present beneath the surface divisions created by thought. The results of such inquiry often manifest not as reports or data points, but as insights, flashes of clarity that click without notice and possess an irreversible quality. They are not conclusions reasoned out step by step, but spontaneous recognitions that land with a sense of inherent truth. Examples from the source recordings, like the liberating insight that the unknown cannot be known, illustrate this phenomenon. Once seen directly through this process, such insights fundamentally alter one's landscape of understanding, creating not just new knowledge points, but a transformed perspective, a living landscape of timeless questions and emergent truths. This form of inquiry, therefore, is less about knowing more and more about being in a state of clear seeing and open engagement with reality as it unfolds.